Thanks for having me out. So, Mr. Know-It-All has to eat a little crow today. So, it's like my own house. I have black pipe going in concrete. I have screens on my gutters. I do. He put them on there when I bought them. I didn't want it. And it's funny because I live on the top of a mountain. I don't get anything up there, so I leave them there. So you'll hear me say, no screens, no gutter guards, dead gummit, because you're going to break your walls. Mm-hmm. All right, so when I preach and I tell everybody what needs to be done, every once in a while this little cocky guy needs to be brought down to, and guess what I did here, folks? Yes, that's right. That's black pipe, kids, and that's been ate up by everything but what should be. There's no clean out on that. We already have issues. We've got great sized gutters. We're not getting the water out well enough. So this must have been when I just started to wake up to the fact that, hey, you know what? I better think about what's happening and why it's happening and not just sell. But I was from a sales mentality. And so I sell when you go to a house, when you first look at it, because I can do this. I'll sell them this much and I'll do this. And I wasn't designing. I was selling. So having said that, I'm making some fun, but it's reality. Water causes this kind of decay to a wall. It doesn't just happen. It doesn't just like, oh, the ground settled. No. We have to be mindful that things happen, action and reaction. And if something doesn't make sense, we need to ask about it. So I'm glad to be able to jump on all this and take care of this, because we're going to redo this. And guess what? I'm going to redo it on my dime, because I've learned something. And if you don't share this with the people that you do business with, the girl you're at the dance, why would you go after new work? So when I bought the business outright in 16, I was able to make all the changes in the world, and they've been for the good. Having said that, if you'll walk with me carefully up these steps, we're going to talk about the courtyard next. Again, water being heavy, 36 gallons is 300 pounds. 500 gallons is 4,170. I say that to show you why this is happening. Once we manage it a little better, we can, and we don't want to tie things together. So this is very well tied to that. This whole addition's getting ripped out, so I could care less about all this moving forward because it's about to be new. So, having said that, this part of my wall in here is bad. In the sense that I want to get to the rebar. There's a horizontal crack about a foot down. And I want to get to both sides of that properly with carbon fiber so that I can make it super strong, because it's a critical point. The other part is this gutter is full and a lot of repeated backflash. We also have a sump discharge here, so we want to make sure that we do a dig out, seal this properly so that we don't have this continued ravaging split of the rebar. When this downspout, there's a whole water network that should be taken to the back and around, and as we make our way to the front, this is probably, careful with the gate here, this is probably the neat thing to have found out now. So if we did, there's water management that needs to be done, and we have kind of a tilted situation back this way. Going to the street, especially in this neighborhood, is not a very good idea. So we can see by where the water sits that we want this to make it all the way to the property in the back. So when this gets cleared, and this tree probably removed,
they're all done.
Yeah, both.
Great.
Yeah.
Now you have this brand new path to sit a pipeline that can go through that we can send in, and maybe you buck up and buy a 6 or 8 inch pipe. It's expensive, but to have a big enough one to flush it forever to bring them all to might be worth it. It's something to look at. But this management of water, getting it around and back into the, that's the key, because where it's hurting the house the most, if you come to the front now. Now I'm going to say this just because I like what I like, and I'm I strive, I sail straight. This hump's not helping anything. So if you could ask them to make this go bye-bye, man, are you miles ahead. Having said that, we've got the moat St. Harris right here. And this is where your issues lie, because your electric panel's there and it's eating the fire out of the wall on both sides here. We have a lot of stuff, a lot of wires and a lot of things in here. So I think we want to get a lift station put out here, lower than that, get the water to it so we can lift it out and away. Now, why would I want my lift station out here when it's lower over there? Because I'm going to make it lower here. And if and when that time bomb goes off, which, hey, power's been out for whatever, the pump's not able to activate outside. We don't want to have a moat next to the house holding a ton of water, so it'll be out here with rock taking it over to the drain that's now going to the back. So it has a backup system of gravity once it gets full and goes backwards. So now you have a backup to your backup, and that's what you do outside here. The rest of it is water management with the with the gutters, and that's all going to happen as that new addition gets put on. We can talk about maybe where to put them and get some clean outs on them, so there could be some additions there. But we can stop the movie here and then talk some more.